It's been a while, but we finally have the Galaxy S21 in our studio. And surprise, surprise, I actually might like this one. Plastic pack and all. So why this sudden change of heart, you ask? Watch on and find out. So I'm sure by now you guys have seen enough S21 unboxing. So let me quickly skim through that part. So this is the new Samsung box, S21 branding up top and the back actually tells you why it is so slim. See, no charger or headphones in the box contents. Also, the box price is way higher. We know it retails for about 70,000 rupees. Now, as for our device, we have the 8.28 variant in Phantom Violet color. And I really want to see that. So let's crack the box open. And here's the phone. Peeling off all those stickers. Now I know I said the matte black S21 Ultra looked amazing, but damn, this violet, it looks very sophisticated as well. Turning it on for the very first time, and while it does its thing, let's check out if there's something different in the box. And actually, no, not really. There's nothing different. It's the same old SIM ejector pin, paperwork, Type-C to Type-C cable, and that wraps up the unboxing part of this video. And if you're happy that I actually kept it short, given the amount of unboxings you have already seen, then go ahead, get subscribed and hit that bell icon. Now, each year the S series is characterized by new and exciting features. Yet somehow this year I came away from the Unpacked event with a feeling that the S21 was more about corners that Samsung had cut in order to reduce the price, which is why I expected to be put off by the plastic pack. Yes, like the Note 20, Samsung has decided to opt for cheaper materials here, but there is a but, yes. You don't really notice the build feeling cheap. The fuck you talking about in hand feel? You aren't even in the country. This phone was unboxed in India. You've been in hiding for what, the last 3 months? Okay. Fair point. Mini-Me does make a fair point here. But here's the thing, guys. I have been in the UAE, yes, for the past 3 months. But the S21 series has been on demo here for a long time now. So I've actually held the phone in hand multiple times. And everything that Amartya has told me for this script, I have indeed managed to cross-check. So I do know what I'm talking about. Whatever. So the first time you do pick up the S21 coming back, what you are going to be noticing is how small and compact this phone is. Of course, Gorilla Glass Victus is going to feel more premium. You don't get any argument from me there. There's no way around it. And I'm going to occasionally continue making fun of the plastic flagship and all that. None of that changes, but jokes apart, this one does really feel nice in hand. The textured plastic back with the curved sides feels ergonomic, and it's very light, almost 60 grams lighter than the Ultra. Talking about the Ultra, I am a big fan of its stealthy matte black, but I have to say the S21 in gold and purple, that's going to turn a lot more heads. And Samsung's contour cut camera, it's not corner cut camera, it's contour cut camera. You know, the one that melts the metal rails onto the camera bump. It looks a lot more symmetrical and balanced here on the S21. So continuing the story of omissions, there is no micro SD card here. In fact, Samsung decided to axe this much loved feature for all 3 S series phones this year. Looks like it's time to say farewell not just to headphone jacks, but the micro SD card slot too. Taking a look at what is left around the device, we have the power and volume keys to the right. They're a little slim but have a nice click. The top has these two tiny holes, I'm guessing for secondary mics. The left is clean, save for the antenna bands. There are quite a few of them here, probably got something to do with 5G. Moving on to the bottom edge, and here we have the dual SIM slot. There's also the primary mic, Type-C port, and one of the 2 speakers. So yes, there are stereo speakers on board. The thin slit above the display pulls double duty as a front-firing speaker. Beneath that, we have a 6.2-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X panel. Now, it's common knowledge that Samsung makes the best displays in the smartphone world, and as such, this 120Hz panel is one of the best displays you're gonna come across. Everything from the inky blacks to the bright, vibrant colors are on point. The only disappointment here is the resolution. After having kitted out the S series 1440p panels for a while now, Samsung's decided that Full HD plus 120Hz is good enough for the S21. The higher resolution is saved just for the Ultra now. Now guys, I'm all for phone makers making different SKUs. Having more options is always better for the end consumer, but what Samsung has done here is taken away features from the general S series. It seems like they've done it so that the S21 Ultra looks, well, for the lack of a better word, more Ultra. The same goes for the adaptive refresh rate. The S21 Ultra can vary its refresh rate from 10 to 120 Hz, Well, the rest of the S21 series can only do 48 to 120 Hz. A minor spec difference, but a spec difference nonetheless. Anyway, despite all that, I'm still quite impressed with the display here. The size is way more manageable. Also note that Samsung is slowly but surely moving back to panels with flat edges. In terms of protection, we've got the same Gorilla Glass Victus that's being used on the 21 Ultra. So basically guys, from a usability perspective, the S21, it's a lot more wieldable in hand. If you like compact phones, you're gonna love this one. The chip inside, now that isn't something that's been tinkered around with, no lower clocks or anything. You get the same power as you get with the S21 Ultra, the same Exynos 2100, same clock speeds. But how does that stack up with the Snapdragon 888? That's a story for another day. I am in the process of getting the 888 variant. Once I do, I will have an entire performance comparison. I feel a performance comparison would work better than just a speed test. What do you guys think? Would you like to see more of a performance-based comparison like benchmarks, app opening speeds, and performance over time? Run the same benchmark 5-6 times and see how it throttles. Would you like to see that kind of a comparison or just a regular old speed test? Let me know in the comments below and I will make sure I get that video done. Now the RAM is different. Samsung offers 6 or 8 gigs of RAM for the S21 while the Ultra gets 12 or 16 gigs. But to be honest, 12 gigs, 16 gigs, that's overkill. 6 to 8 gigs should serve you just fine. You aren't gonna notice any practical differences. Paired with 128 or 256 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage, the phone, it feels very responsive. Onto the battery side of things, and well, a smaller size does mean less space, so a 20% decrease in battery capacity, that is no surprise, we expected that. Considering that we have a smaller, lower resolution screen on the S21, the 4000 mAh battery should be good enough. And it should be able to technically last through an entire day, and if you want to charge it, you have support for up to 25 watts. Now other brands are going for 60 plus, even 100 plus watt chargers, but this is not a S21 corner cut. It's not like the Ultra can charge faster. Well, yes, it is true that Samsung has a 45 watt charger, but all the S21 series phones for some reason top out at 25 watts. Other than that, we have support for USB PD, 15 watt wireless fast charging support, and 4.5 watt reverse wireless charging support. So pretty much what we get with the S21 Ultra is what we get here. And even for software, okay, for the most part. One UI 3.1 is what the S21 is running on, and that's built on top of Android 11. When it comes to feature set, it is jam-packed with what we've come to expect from Samsung flagships. You know, even things like Knox, GoodLock, Samsung Pay, they're all in here. But not really, because Samsung Pay is without MST in India. MST is where, you know, you can put your card onto it, and instead of in terminals where there's no NFC support or anything, instead of just swiping a credit card or a debit card, you can just use your phone to mimic the card swipe, which is a feature I absolutely love. And that's a feature we've seen on phones like Galaxy J something Prime, J7 Prime, J something Prime. From there to the S21 not having it, that is disappointing. But not so disappointing is the omission of S Pen support. For a screen this size, S Pen might not really bring too much to the table. So personally, I don't mind that one being omitted. But here guys, I want to know what you think about these omissions. Let me know in the comments below. Now, as far as other knickknacks are concerned, the S21 can support 5G, but you're gonna have to live with Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2 opposed to Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2 on the Ultra. But this one's just for the textbooks. Next, we have the newer generation ultrasonic fingerprint scanner here. It's bigger in scan area, which makes it more reliable and a whole lot faster. On top of that, there's IP68 water and dust resistance. So we've been pointing out the relatively tiny changes till now. Now let's take a look at the major one, optics. So we have 3 cameras to the back. No prizes for guessing. They're the regular ultra-wide and telephoto, no macro depth sensor crap here. But the sensors themselves are an interesting story. The primary is 12 megapixels with dual pixel autofocus and OIS. It's got an f1.8 lens, which gives us excellent natural bokeh. So instead of the high megapixel count primary camera, what we have here is a 64 megapixel telephoto. Wait, what? Yep, this one has 1.1x optical zoom and 3x hybrid zoom. We can also take these full resolution 64 megapixel photos, and they came out looking quite sharp. We even have the ability to capture footage at 8K. By the way, that's being captured through the 64 megapixel sensor. Now switching it around to the front, we have a 10 megapixel selfie camera that does great with colors, and the subject manages to look sharp. So continuing on that comparison thread, the Ultra has better and more versatile cameras, definitely. But the optics on the S21, they are no joke. This is not a compromised set of cameras. The camera performance seems to be excellent. So what's the final initial impression verdict here? At 70,000 rupees, the S21, it does kind of feel incomplete. It seems to be a great phone, but Samsung has set the bar quite high for the S series, and it feels more like a Galaxy S21 FE than an actual S21. That said, actually using the product and not judging it from the specs, from the launch, it's quite different. The in-hand feel, that needs to be experienced. When you look at it in comparison with the S21 Ultra, which is priced 36,000 rupees higher, there are compromises, yes, but in a vacuum, plastic back notwithstanding, the S21 feels to be an excellent compact flagship. One, given my fondness for compact phones, I can't wait to begin testing out. So I guess that's pretty much it for this unboxing video. These are my initial impressions of the S21. I'd say it's a mixed bag, but I'd also say there are more pros than cons here. So what do you guys think about it? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And with that, we get to the end of this unboxing, and it is time as usual for me to bid you adieu. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about the video. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. And thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.